Okay, we are going to start with the first lecture. The idea that we have for today is to introduce all of you to the Python programming and how to use Python programming with text. And I would like to know if are there a lot of people that know something about Python here, or no, nothing? Sorry? Something means just to write one sentence, two sentences, to understand the structure of programming, not especially Python. That's loops, bifurcations, variables. Yes, but Python? Yes. Okay. I try. If I started with some basic concepts about Python. If you think that is very basic, you can hold your hand, say, okay, it's very basic, and we try to advance. Okay, perfect. For these lessons, we are going to use the notebooks, Jupyter notebooks. I don't know if you make your homeworks, and everybody has at least, or in the computer has the program Jupyter Notebooks, or you have a Gmail account for go to Colab. Are you make your homeworks, or I have to put the first negative to all of you? Yes? No? Yeah.
So this is the first day and they already have homework?
Yes, the homework before to come here, because to install everything is a little, it's easy, but if you haven't the programs, we can start. So, yeah. Okay, I'll try to, I don't know if you have or not. Okay, you can go to the Colab. This is possible, you know, to go to the Colab or not. I'm sharing I'm going to share. I'm going to share on my screen just in case to change everything. Okay. So here it is. This is Colab. Okay. Are you all in the, you can write collaborate, Google, and is this option. Welcome to Collaborate. This is the first page. Everybody is here. Yes. Second, we need to upload all the files to your Gmail. You need the Gmail open, the Drive. Everybody has Drive. It's the same account that the Google. Okay. So you are here as well. You have this open. Yes. Two things. Colab and Drive. Yes. The third is the GitHub. This GitHub is github.com. We have the name here. NLP for humanist. This is a GitHub. I can make bigger. Okay. Yes. Okay. This is free. I mean, you don't need an account to go to GitHub. It's only to go to the link. Okay. And you see this screen. Okay. And now you click on code and you can download. Okay. Actually, yeah. But the problem is I make this, but I don't know how to. No. Okay. This is the. Okay. Oh my God. Ya. Hasta que empecemos. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Oh my God. I'm trying, but oh no. Yes. Okay. This is the GitHub name. It's a public repository, so you have only to go into the link and click in code and download. Yes, in the chat, for example. In the chat. In the Zoom, in the chat. Where? Yeah, but if you are not zooming, where you want? Okay, he helped him. Sorry. Okay, I put the link in the chat of the Zoom. Okay. Sorry, because do you think that I heard you, but I can't hear you very well. So. No, I'm too soon. But you have the link of the Zoom. If you want it, yes, but it is not necessary. Okay. You can go straight to the link, yes, in your browser, or if you, the only thing I say is I put the link in the Zoom. That's all. But you can write. Okay. 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 Control C. Okay.
You would like? There's a microphone.
Yeah, maybe. No, but this is for them because I can't hear them. Now, you can see now. This is the GitHub. It's okay. Perfect. The collab, the GitHub, and the drive. Okay. So the problem is that I'm touching the pad and it's making strange things. Okay. Then the only thing that we have to do is now to click in code. I try to, code and download, and all the GitHub is coming to your local computer. Okay. You decompress. Okay. Yes, you download zip. I'm downloading. Okay. And here you have the zip. You can uncompress. And now you have all the information, okay, in your computer. So you go to the to digging for gold, okay, and here is the Jupyter notebooks that we are going to use, okay. It's okay. Then now what you can do is copy the digging for gold and data Trinity folders. You can copy in the drive. You have only to click and throw in the Google Drive and upload. Okay. Colab is a Jupyter notebook, but the problem with the Colab is that you need to use. It's more difficult to use this kind of things in the menus than go to the Google Drive. Okay, this is because I prefer that you download the code and the data in your drive, because you click now in the drive and collab open. Okay? Because if not, you have to make the link with the GitHub. I mean, this is for a second course. Okay, because this is difficult list. Okay, so instrumentalism. Okay, is we have the zip. We have the zip in our local computer. We uncompress it. We can select the digging for goal folder and data trinity folder where is the data. Okay, and we can upload to our drive. Okay. So at the end, what we have is this, or something similar like this. I have here, this is my Google Drive. Here I have the Jupyter notebooks. Okay. And here is the folder data trinity. I have more things, but I clear all the files for you, so it's very easy. Okay, so everybody now is in the Google Drive? No? I'm going to repeat just in case, because this is important, because when we have this already done, I mean, we can change from one Jupyter notebook to another very easily, okay? So I repeat the process. Go to the GitHub, okay? Download, uncompress the zip, select the folder digging for goal and data trinity, and upload to your drive. For a upload, you only have to click and throw it in the Google Drive, and automatically, since it's very intelligent, Google is very intelligent, as you know. And we'll see something similar like this in your computer, in your Google Drive. Okay, go to the folder digging for goal, and in this folder is the Jupyter notebooks. Okay. This is very important because you are going to deal with text, and the text usually is in repositories, in GitHubs, in a lot of places. So it's good to know how to take it from wherever and put in your Google Drive or in your local disks for using. Okay. If everybody is with this screen, yes. Now, magic. Now we are going to make magic. We selected this one, digging for goal, Python. Okay. This one. And now just clicking, open in Colab. Okay. Chan. Digging for goal for Python. All the files started digging for goal, but you have to select the one he said digging for goal, Python 1 or something like that. It's not done. Okay. Yeah, because maybe we are a lot and we are using the Wi-Fi. So we can wait. So the magic is click in the Jupyter notebook and suddenly happens this. Everybody can see, yeah? Okay. Now we are here. I try to make just bigger.
Go one step back.
Yes.
Reach a file.
Yes. I can. It's Trinity. Yeah. I mean, no. Sorry. No, it's not Trinity. You have This is my drive. You upload a folder called Digging for Gold. Yeah, you click in the folder, and inside the folder there are 5, 6, 7, 8 files. You have to select Digging for Gold, Python 1. This one.
If you're right click,
I click and then open in the
yes.
open here.
You have
This one. You click.
controller. Right.
Yeah, because you say
No, but you need to first link up your Google Drive to
no,
Connect.
no, no, no,
Yes,
no.
yes. It always doesn't do
No,
it.
open with
Yeah, but you need to install that.
install what?
So,
Okay, have you opened or not? No?
Wait, I'll start.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay, if someone is having problems when click, it's because he has to connect with the collab. So you have to select the right button on the mouse and say connect with other applications, and you have to select collaboratory, and then it's the collab. You click and you can open with the collab. Okay. Okay. I have to say that this is the easy part of the course, because the next is terrible. I have to say as well, because you don't know who I'm sorry. I'm Salvador and I'm from computer science. So I'll try to explain everything to the people who doesn't understand computer science. So be patient with me and I will be patient with you. Okay? This is the deal. Okay, perfect. I think that almost all the people has the magic ready, no? We are here. Okay. So this is the collab framework. Okay. When you start to use it, you feel very comfortable with it because it's very easy. Okay. The problem with collab is to upload the information. I mean, the data and the Jupiters and this kind of things. But once you make that, it's very easy. Okay. Do you know what is a Jupyter notebook? No. This is magic. It's magic for everybody, I have to say, because even for us, it helps us to programming. You don't need to have notions about programming. I mean, when we are talking about programming, the people say, okay, I know Python, I know C, I know a lot of, no, this is not programming. Programming is thinking in the algorithms, thinking in the program, okay? This kind of tool is very easy and very useful because you have only one way to do the things. It's sequential. One line, another line, another line. And the magic is that when you click in one line, you know what is happening. You click in another, and so on. Okay, so you have all the control of your code. Okay, and you don't need to create complex code. It's sequential. This is very important. Why? Because we started from the first line to the last, and usually when you are comfortable with the system, you say, okay, I'm going to change something up. If you change something up, then everything, the data are wrong. You have to run again with the new data. Okay? It's sequential. First to the last. Remember. Okay. Very important, because if you don't care, you don't care of these things, the results could be different. Okay, perfect. The notebook has two kind of cells. Well, a notebook is a collection of cells, as you can see. It is cells, 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 and more cells. There are two kind of cells. The cells for text, okay, where you can write whatever you want, and the cells for code, where you can write whatever you want if it's a code. Okay, very easy. Okay, and as you can see, we can put pictures, we can make comments. Basically, it's like if you are writing a book. This is because it's notebook, and it's Jupyter because it's the technology. Okay, so Jupyter was the first. Of course, you can install Jupyter notebooks in your local computing. It's kind of different from this. Okay, this is in black because I use the black, how you say, black ground, but it's in white as well. Okay, and basically there is two parts. This one, this is where is the cells and the code and the text, and this area here is where is the index of the notebook, or what is more important here is where is the data. Okay, where is the data? If I click here, look, this is the view of a Linux system. Okay, this is the folders of a Linux system. Don't miscarry. What is happening when we connect? When we use a Jupyter notebook in Colab, what is happening is that Google is giving us a virtual machine. Okay, this is a virtual machine, a full virtual machine for us. Okay, so the way to see the files of the virtual machine is this. Okay, this is the operative system of the virtual machine. Okay, all contents always will be downloaded here in the folder content. Okay, always here. The rest of the folders has not interest for us because it's the operating system and has no sense that we use it. Okay, so this is one way to do the things. Okay, this is our disk, and sometimes what we need is to upload the information from our Google Drive to the computer, this computer. Okay, this is making we have to run some cells just to ask for permission, and suddenly all the information appears in this folder. Okay, we'll see during the day. But the most important thing is that you know that here is the data. Okay, and the cells is like the screen of the computer. And we are now, in this moment, each one of you has a computer for you in Google Systems. Right? So you can make everything, you can install, you can make a lot of things. When you close, everything is lost. So the files, you have to download the results, or or simply save in Google Drive. This is easy way to do. Okay, remember, and each time you click in a Jupyter notebooks, the process starts. So you have to upload your data. You have to install things. Okay, this is a problem with Colab, that if you use your local Jupyter notebooks, doesn't happen because you make the things once and finish. Okay, perfect. I hope you understand my English because it's Spanish English. So if I say something inappropriate, you tell me because it's my pronunciation. Okay, don't worry. Okay, so ready? Oh my God. This is CLS INFRA Training School. We are going to start with Python, just some concepts, small concept of Python. Okay, this is okay, my photo when I was young, because always we have one photo when we are young, because if not, it's impossible to put things here. In this case, just only for your knowledge, this photo is linked because it's in another computer, and these ones I upload to the system. The problem is I click here. You can click twice, and then you can see this is all the photos here. Is really, it's not nice. No, I mean, but if you click here in this cell, it's code what is here. Okay, it's the link. The link. This is this photo is in this link. You know, it's HTTP, so you can have if you have a public website, you can put your photos or whatever, and then link to the notebook. Okay. You have only to copy this kind of things and change the data for your data. It's very easy. Okay. The point of the notebooks is that you can copy, you can change things. Okay. And always, if you make the things well, always it's working. Okay, perfect. So, okay, this zero is previous to start download data. Ignore it because it's for just only for making troubles. So we started with Python. Okay, I suppose that everybody knows what is Python, so we can go through this. I explain you what is a notebook. Jupyter notebook is just a way to programming, a very simple way to programming. And you don't need to have the knowledge of how to build complex algorithms, just very, very small algorithms, and it's absolutely sequential. Okay, so let's start with a basic concept of Python. Okay, first of all, the most important thing, how to print things in Python. So if you put the mouse here and you click, make a run, and suddenly, okay, this is the result. Let's start. Print, as the name, the function say, print. Okay? Print. Easy. Everybody? It's very easy, no? Yeah, it's okay. Oh my God. This is the problem with the Macs. You make things in the path and the computer makes things. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, second, very important, variables. You need to save the information in any place, okay? These places in the computer in programming are called variables, okay? In this case, it's a number, x equals 3. If I click, what happened? That the 3 is stored in the x variable, but I can see the result, okay? If I want to see the result, what I have to do? Print x, okay? And you have to distinguish two important things. In this line, it's a message. So the message, you write the message between the quotes, okay? But if this is a variable, you only have to write the name of the variable, okay? Doesn't matter if it's a number or a string or whatever. One thing that has Python is that, well, for me is that I'm very old man. I studied programming a lot of years ago. When I studied the programming, we use languages that were very typed. I mean, the variable has to be integer, string, and we have to declare the variables, you kind of thing. Someone say, okay, this is stupid. So just write what you want in the variable, and the variable take the type. This is happening with Python. So you don't have any precaution about what kind of data you put in the variables. Python understands the variables. Okay. So in this case, it's the numeric. If I click here, it's printing. As you can see, it's making operation as well. Variables -1, x divide 2, x plus 1, x multiply by x squared. Okay, and this is the result. Always when I put print, always I obtain the information. Okay, this is another variable. We are going to to make some operations with the variable. For example, number of the books is 100, and now we want to increase the number of the books. We can use this structure, number of the books equal to number of the books plus 1. Okay, always in this in programming, always what is in the right is computed first, and the result is put in the left. Okay, remember. And if I use the same name, I change the values. Okay, perfect. So now notebooks was 100. If I execute this, now it's 101. Perfect. This is a count. It's very useful when you are making things, counting things. Okay, if we continue, well, it's more or less is the same structure. Notebooks is equal to notebooks, and what I'm making is here I'm saying that new books has notebooks, that is 101. Okay, and now I say new books is equal to new books plus one, that is 102. Okay, so when I write in, new books is 102 and notebooks is 101. Okay, just only to understand what is happening with the values of the variables when I'm working with them. Okay, easy. This is easy. Yes, I can continue. Okay, perfect. You can try to store another kind of type of data. For example, if I click here, oh my God, problem. It's a problem. I try, author is the variable, and the content is Fray Luis de León. Everybody knows Fray Luis de León? Yes? What's happening? What is happening? Someone knows? Yeah, it's syntax errors, but why? Yeah, because that Fray Luis de León could be a variable, but probably we had a error as well, because the variables has to, it's better not to make to put blank spaces. Okay, it's better all together. So if Fray Luis de León will be a variable, it's possible to say this variable is equal to this one, but in this case, it's not a variable. I'm trying to write the name of Fray Luis de León in the author variable. So what I have to do, yes, is to put in quotes. Okay, and now, yes, author is Fray Luis de León. I click, and if I print, I obtain Fray Luis de León. Perfect. Okay, the same here. Okay, if I change the value, now it's Gloria Fuertes. Okay, this is just a basic programming. Okay, to understand what happened with the variables. Okay, now we are going to build a program. Okay, very basic program. We are going to try to know how minutes has a year. Do you know how to do that? I mean how the first, we know that the year has 365 more or less days, and we have 24 hours per day, and 1 hour is 60 minutes. So what we have to do is just multiply. It's okay? Okay. So first of all, for example, we can define a variable days per year, 36.5, another variable hours per year, 24, minutes per hour, 60, and now we can create a new variable, minutes per year, that is equal to the multiplication of all of the variables. And after then, I can print. And look, I put something more in the print. First of all, I put a message in quotes, comma, and the variable. So the result in this case is minutes in 1 year, 525,000 minutes. Okay, perfect. Yes. Here, this is a tip. Read the tips. Say variables names do not contain spaces. And this is how it should be due to how Python interpreter or lines of code. We can use any names of the variables, but it's recommended to use those that are clear enough that anyone reading our code can understand at a glance what each one represents. Why? Because it's very easy to say, okay, variable A, variable B, and when you come back to your code, you don't know what it means. So use variables with mean for you. Okay, books, number of books. Don't be lazy, right? Okay, I know that it's for that. We make a lot, computer science, and it's a problem. Okay, so, okay, all the structure of this notebook is similar. The section, after the section, a summary of what is learning, just only to have clear the concepts. Okay, this is very easy. The next point is the string manipulation. This is very important for the people who works in computational literary studies, because you are going to work with text mainly. So we started with the string manipulation. If we show something, no, because we say, okay, there are variables that contain a string. This is the case. And in this case, it's more or less I'm repeating the process that I saw before, but here we have a problem. Which is the problem? The name is not defined. So very easy. Now I say, okay, click, 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 click. Well, this is a solution you can put, and then okay. If I want to write the name, so look, I'm manipulating the file, okay? I can say name equal, I can say, for example, Salva. If I saw Salva, okay, sorry. Okay, I'll do with this because okay, I say Salva, and now I can write here Salva. Salva plus, okay, yeah, no. Why? Because I write my name. Let's try. I want to say name, and now it's a variable. Okay, perfect. I making a concatenation of strings just with the symbol plus. Okay, see you? I'm concatenating. Okay. Sorry. Make it like this. Yeah. Okay, I try because if I lose the side, okay. Okay, I understand you. Okay, so perfect. What we have to know about the string is a list of characters, so we can go through the strings. Okay, this is the cell. So, for example, if I use my name is the variable, is Salva. Okay, so in this cell, what I'm going to do is to go through the first letter of the string. So first letter is name, the variable, and between brackets, okay, I selected the position. These strings start in 0 and finish in the length, the maximum length, okay? So if I write name 0, I'm printing, okay, is S, okay? See? You see? I continue. So for example, this is for making your code. So you can try now. Say no, knowing the length of your name. Do you know the length of your name? No? You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know? Then use the fingers. Say 5, for example. It's okay. So as you know the length of your name, you can extract the last letter of your name. So what do you have to do? This is the cell. First of all, I'm going to help you this time. Name, say my name, no, yours name. Write your name, okay? And between the brackets, you have to put the last number. If the length of your name is 5, you have to put what number? 4, because start at 0, okay? Try it and run it. If it's okay, you have 1 point. If not, -1. And you need at least 5 points to pass this notebook. So it's very easy. Okay. Yes. Yes. Perfect. Another way to assess. -1. Oh my God. Okay, I started SSS1. You have to write in the name here, the name, your name. In my case, Salva. And I know that my name is 5 letters. Okay. So if I write 5, thinking that is my last letter, I have an error because the strings start at 0. So I have to write my length, my name's length, -1. So 4. If I write 4, then say A, that is the last A. A is A, sorry. A. Okay, perfect. Another way to do that is using index. In this case, you can use index with a sign of minus. If you write like this, -1, the result is similar, the last letter. -1 is the last, -2, 1 before the last, and so on. Okay. And of course, if you don't have enough ability to count your letters with the fingers, you can ask to the computer. And we use the function len. Okay. Always between parentheses. Parentheses, you see parentheses? Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much. Yes, between parentheses, so it's length and the name of the variables between parentheses. Okay? It's helpful, no? Because sometimes you say, I don't know. My name actually is Salvador. So I have to count more. Okay, perfect. Second exercise, you can, I think I solved the problem. You can write the code to obtain your penultimate letter. Very easy. Come on. Here you have to write your code. It's very easy. Select the variable. What is your name? Brackets. And think about how to obtain the penultimate letter. There are 2 ways. Or 3. Depends. You can complicate whatever you want. If you know the length, you can say, okay, -2. No, -3. -2. No, this is the penultimate. Or you can say -2 as well in the bracket, so it's the same result. Okay, we continue. Okay, come on. No, we're slow because I absolutely patient. And I feel comfortable making things slow. Don't worry. Yes, because I have time to think what I'm going to say. I have time to pronounce better. So I'm very happy to tell me. Of course, you can say length equal to length. Yes, like this. For example, I'm going to make here. Write your code. Okay, I'm going to make my name. -2. This is the penultimate. I can say, for example, length is a new variable equal to length of name, for example. Okay, so now the length is in the variable. So if I print length. If I print length, it's okay. I think it's okay. No. Yes, yeah, this is because dyslexia. I have dyslexia or something wrong in my brain. I don't know. Okay, perfect. You can take information. Even you can use the variable inside of in this. For example, you can take it and say, okay, I calculate. So okay, length. For example, this is the 5. Be careful because it's from 0 to length -1. So the penultimate is length -2. Okay, and I can print again. Look, I take it, this one, I put here. He say repeat. And now it's just, okay. It's very easy. And the point is that you in the cell, you can write whatever you want, copy, repeat. Always you have to think that this is like a black box. Never, it's box. It's a black, yes, it's a box. So the black box has inputs, okay, and outputs. The inputs are all the variables that are defined above. This is the dyslexia as well. Above. Okay, and the output is the variables that you are going to use in the next one, plus the ones which is above. Okay, this is the point. And you can make whatever you want here. The point is that you can see the result. When you are sure about the result, you can erase what you want and only leave the things that you are interested on. Okay, perfect. So now it's like this. Okay, at the moment only one letter, but we can say, okay, I want more letters. So the way to do is like this: is you select the start point, the last point, and how you say the 2 points? This one, colon. So it's start, colon, final. So in this case, it's 0, 1, 2. I say, okay, I'm going to write the first 2 letters. So it's okay, look, 0, 1, 2. Really, it's only 0, 1, because always starting 0. If you say 2, Python understand that is the number less 1, -1. Okay, understand? 0, 0, 1, 2. This is supposed 3 letters, but the result is 2 letters. Why? Because it's the position 0 and the position 1. Okay, Python understand the last number as the length, so he subtract 1 to the number. Okay, perfect. Okay, in this case, if you start it in 0, you can, it's optional to use 0, because if you only use colon 2, it's the same result. Okay, you can try. Okay. In this case, from 2 to, when you use a number and the colon is on the right, means until the end. Okay. So if I write, it's until the end. Okay. And here you have a graphical representation of what is happening when you use the slices. This is called slices. Okay. The slices are used in almost everything that's it's like a list, strings, these kinds of things. It's very similar always. Okay. Exercise 3, given following 2 words, in this case, human and opportunities. How would you write the word humanities using only slices or spacelaces? This spacelaces is this one, and concatenation. This is for you. When you have a problem with this, when you are programming, thinking, I have to resolve this problem. First of all, it's important to think how to solve it. Okay? Think. Okay. The first thing you have to know is your variables. What is your input? In this case, we have two inputs, word 1 and word 2. And we know the contents of the words. Okay? So we have all the information. And the algorithm has to build a new word that is humanities. So you have to choose a strategy to make it. Okay? I suppose the most simple one is, okay, if I have to write a new variable with the content humanities, and I have two variables, one with human and another with opportunities. What I have to do is, okay, humanities is human plus ETS. So where is human? Oh, in the word 1. So I have to concat the word 1 with a slice of the word 2 because ETS is a slice. Okay, it's maybe from 5 until the end, something like that. So you count and it's very easy. You make it. Okay, you say, okay, the new variable, that is new word, for example, is equal to word 1, perfect, plus to concat, and now you have to select the part of the new word, the word 2. That in this case will be word 2, brackets, and the number. I don't know if it's the 5, the 4, and colon until the end. You make this, and you then write, print the new variable, and voila, humanities is writing. Okay? I write in the code. Okay, I'll do. New equal word 1, but I can write now because I think first. Okay? Think first, write then later. Not write and then think. Okay? Always think in the algorithm and then you continue. So word 1 is okay, and now is word 2, brackets, and I don't know, maybe it's 5. I don't know. I can try. Print new. Okay. If I run it, humanities. So maybe 3 more. 3 more, no? 8. Yeah, 8. Okay. It's okay, no? Humanities. Yes, no? I make, well, how many people make it? Something happened in this corner. What is happening in this corner? Oh my God. You have to change because maybe it's the corner of the bad guys. Change. Okay, we'll continue. What was learned in this section? Yes, is a concatenation. Okay, you have clear the idea. Concatenation, strings, indices, slice, and the function line. Okay, perfect. Remember, we can continue. Just okay. No, maybe we can. What time is it, by the way? 22. Okay, you tell me something. Half. Just perfect half. I mean, sharp half to go to the coffee. Okay, we are going now. Yeah, this is more complex. Okay, this is the list. For computational literacy studies, there are some structures that are very useful. One is the list, and the other one is the dictionaries. Okay, dictionary that we are going to try to understand. List is one of the most used structures of data that we can use in Python. Okay, so it's similar to a string. I have to say. Can you say that a string is a kind of list? So it's not very difficult to understand, but has some differences that are important to highlight. Okay, so let's start with the sentence. This is a sentence. Sentence, what kind of variable is? String, no? String? Yes, it's a big string. Okay, well, big. It's a small string, but it's a string. Okay, so if I affix to the first position of this sentence, what happens is I obtain the T. Okay, perfect. So if I'm interested in the words, I need another kind of structure, or I need a function that say, okay, you have a string, and I want to identify the words on the string. That is very important, for example, for computing the frequency, for example, to extract the stop words. Everybody know what is the stop words? Are yes, is, you know. So maybe it's need to make something for obtain the words. Okay, the function for making this is split. When you have a string, if you split it, you obtain the words. Actually, it's not the words, because split what make is put all the characters together between blanks. So it's not necessarily a word, especially in English that you use contractions and this kind of thing. In Spanish, usually, yes, because yeah, we haven't contractions. We say no is no, is don't, no, is no, no. Very easy. What's happened, for example, yeah, with some special signs that are very close to the letters. Yeah, for example, interrogative symbol, some kind of things is together. There's no a blank space. It's part of the word. So this split is the split of the pools. I mean, you need to improve this split, and we improve with a library called Spacey that is more trained for this kind of things. Okay, this is just to make a kind of proof of concept, to try things if you want, thinking about the problem, this kind of things. Okay, so if I split it, I can print the word. So if I say I run sentence, look, sentence split, what may is take the string and put, as you can see, the words, not the words, just the letters between blanks, yes, and each one is separate from the other. Okay, between quotes. This is a list. Okay, this is a list of strings. Okay, I print type words. You in this notebook you can see sometimes I write the type of the variable just to know what kind of variable I'm using. Okay, in this case it's a class list, so it's a list. Okay, if Python say is list, it's a list. Okay, it's not a string, it's a list. So what are the features of a list? You can see this is like a list of elements. It's an array, a vector, what you prefer, say you have a lot of positions. Each position has some information. Okay, in this case, all strings. Each position of the list are strings. Okay? Okay? Yes. So if we make a small exercise, we can say the first word and assign the value to the first word. There is any volunteer to say how I select the first word of this list I made here? Okay, I'm going to try to help you. Words, brackets, 0. Inside. 0. So I print it and first letter. Sorry, first word. First word. Okay? Can you see? If I say 3, Oh my God. 3. It could be is, okay? Easy? And if I make this, what happened? What happened if I make this? I put another bracket. 2 options. Error. Could be. Or a letter. I try. I. No? Understand it? With the first bracket, I select what? The word in position 2 that is, okay? And this is a list of what? Strings. So if I put another bracket, I access to the first letter of the string. Easy? If I put instead 0, 1, the result is. So to access to each element of the list, 1 bracket. If the elements of the list are another list, or in this case, it's a string, I can put another bracket. And if I put a number, it's the position of the character of the word that I selected. Okay? Perfect. Easy. Just almost. Okay. So another feature of the list is that I can storage a lot of finish. Okay, I finish, and the price of what kinds of things I can put in the variable after the break. Okay, so please, the people who is online can go to I don't know the kitchen, coffee, go to the toilet, this kind of things, and we wait in half an hour.